Yo, what's up everyone? I'm Nick.
Alex.
日刊アレックスへようこそ。今日は日本、ロシア、アメリカどの国のメディアが一番ひどいかについて話そうと思ったんですけど、This is going to be a very hard one. Maybe not hard because we have somebody from Russia here.
Oh yeah, like let's just say Russia and
But
end the video.
interestingly, I've heard from a while back that there was actually a Russian news source in America that was a really good news source. I forgot what it was. This is like from a long, like, even before the Trump era, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, one thing is that Russian media wouldn't have the American media bias, so if it tells Americans about what's going on in America, then it might be a little bit like kind of even good because, you know, you're not in the usual paradigm.
Well, let's 一回日本を置いといて、アメリカとロシアのニュースについて。
Right, okay.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
どうぞ。
じゃあ多分ロシアをやるとハードルがすごい高いからいや多分ロシアやばいから America's media obviously sucks. We all know that. CNN, MSNBC, garbage. It's so one-sided, it's insane. Even England's BBC is just the worst. And I read it every day. BBC is my go-to news.
Right, yeah.
Just because I couldn't find something better. But it is so skewed. And this isn't a Trump support channel, just to let you know, but it is so anti-Trump. It's like, I mean, you just look at it and I just laugh because it's so obviously anti-Trump.
Yeah, right.
And then CNN and MSNBC and all those crappy news stations are even worse. And then the other thing is, the only one on the right in America is Fox News, and that's just like TradCon. Oh, it's so bad. There's maybe one good guy on there I could think of, and I won't even say his name because I don't want people to like, you know, I'm scared of the audience. I'm scared of our, actually, まあ日本人の皆さんは別に平気. But Fox News is just as bad. It's like, I don't like stuff that's kissing Trump's butt either. You know what I mean?
Well, do you have anything like in between?
Yeah. Independent news sources that I watch on YouTube.
Right. But
at this point, anything independent is better than legacy media. Legacy media is garbage. And you know, in America, this is how it works. If you're against Trump, you watch MSNBC or CBS or whatever it is, CNN. And if you like Trump, you watch Fox. It's that simple, right?
Right.
But it's just also boring. Like Fox News is, I don't like the people on Fox, most of them.
Wait, what about like how American media presents the situation outside of America?
Do you mean like China and stuff like that?
I guess.
Well, if it's something, say like, you know, China and Trump, like CNN would obviously be like.
Right. So there is no news that doesn't have like anything.
America's
about
gotten to the
state.
point where it's just, if it's not an independent news person, like まあ日本はいろんな人でしょ、自分でYouTube とかでニュースやってる人、ちゃんと研究して。If it's legacy media, it's biased on one side. 大きいメディア会社だったら絶対偏見がある。100% 偏見がある。You just have to choose which one would you rather have, you know. And I don't know why I look at BBC still. It's enraging and it's actually not even enraging. It's a joke, but yeah. And BBC isn't even American news. But what about Russia?
Wow. Most media. Well, I mean, okay, official media. You know, like just whatever channel you switch on TV is like pro-government.
Really?
Yeah.
Any channel. That's. それいいことじゃない？すごい簡単じゃん。You could just, then you can, all the channels are the same thing, so you don't have to.
I mean, there's sort of slightly different, you know, angles, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like literally, unless you have, I don't even know if it still exists. There was like one subscription channel that you could get, and it was organized by like opposition people, and it wasn't very popular or anything, but if you really wanted that perspective, you could pay and get that. But I think normally people, if you want actual like news analysis of things, you go online, and then there are, you know, also YouTube channels. some sort of some sort of like media, articles and stuff like that. But
so it's basically state.
Whatever is official is
it's
always
filtered through the state. Yeah.
And it's
それ別にびっくりじゃないよね。ロシアだったらね。Yeah.
But it's sometimes funny, tragically funny to watch, especially because I used to live in Moscow and I would see things happening in front of my eyes. Like, I would go to a demonstration, for example, and I would know how it went, and then I would come back home and I would switch on the TV, and then it's like completely different story. And sometimes I would talk to people of older generation, and they would tell me, it was like that. I was like, I was there. It wasn't like that. They were like, no, but the TV said this. Well, they literally didn't believe me.
Well, America's just as bad. Like the other day, this was actually big news on Twitter. これ Twitter でちょっと炎上したんだけど、like a liberal bias news, I guess like a digital paper, like company, you know what I mean? They, the main headline was Trump rally, all like, the people who attended the Trump rally, nobody was wearing masks, and there's a picture of it, but everybody's wearing a mask.
What?
Yeah, I'll show it to you later. It's really funny, but it's stuff like that. Or like, like, they call it, 皆さん mental gymnastics ってわかる? Like, going out of your way to try to justify your opinion or justify bullshit, basically.
Yeah. じゃあ日本は
ね、日本も同じぐらいひどいと思う。そう、この動画の結論は、日本、アメリカ、ロシア全部ひどい。The problem with Japan is a little bit different. The problem with Japan is they get a lot of their news. Anything international is from, like, mostly an American company.
Right.
その時点でもう間違ってる。わかる? If you're getting, if you're getting shit from somewhere else, it's still shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And then, さらに、その日本のニュース番組に出るコメンテーターとか専門家とかよく出るんだけど、その専門家でもそこまで深いこと言ってないの。でも俺の方が深いこと言えるなって思う時めっちゃ多いの。And then they're like, なんていうのその、the way they set things up in Japanese news is always as if it's like 事実。Like, so they'll say, report, like, 今アメリカこういうことになってるんですけどどう思いますかってことで、その質問自体がダメ。まずはアメリカでこういうことはあるらしいんですけど本当ですか、これは違うんですか、を聞かなきゃいけないの。But everything's asked as it's like already the fact.
Well, because they expect a certain answer from you, so they by the way they ask, they program you to say things that they want to hear.
And then there's some other silly things that they have, like they'll have their like cardboard, the cardboard. If you've seen on like news shows, it's like has like a hidden graph, and then they'll pull. They love optics and visuals like that.
Yeah, they do.
Or it's like あともちろんね、そのコロナの対策 it's in the newsroom and everybody's like has like the little plastic thing. If you're in the room, you're gonna get corona if somebody has corona. That doesn't do anything. It's just optics. And then just the stories. It's just like その今は日本のニュースはそのまあアメリカもそうだけど多分ロシアは違うかもしれないけどコロナが怖いことだよってみんなに伝えようとしてるでしょ Like all the time.
Yes.
この有名人がコロナになりました。この有名人もコロナにもうどうでもいいや。They're fine. Who cares? It's just like, sorry.
I wonder actually.
気分悪くなった。
No. I wonder about Russia and Corona. Since Corona started, I obviously didn't go back to Russia. But apparently our president's policy is that everything's fine because, everything's always fine in Russia.
Yeah, but is it not fine?
It's as bad as everywhere else. Like, it's not worse.
So it's fine.
Ish. But, when it just started as well, and then no one really knew what's going on. Well, we still don't, but like the policy is just nothing can ever go wrong in Russia. So I think they hid the numbers. They were pretty much doing.
Well, the media should never be reporting medical issues. That's like something for medical people. So when the news is doing it constantly, like you can make a number that looks really big sound bad when it's actually really good.
Yeah.
And then the opposite as well.
But unfortunately, the medical thing became such a big, newsmaker this year. So there is no way media is not going to report
it. As dumb as I think Americans are, Americans are, especially now, especially since Trump became president, they're so tribal. It's like being in a gang. It really is just being in a gang. And obviously, I think one side's worse than the other. But it's the problem. The scary thing that I have about Japan is it's just people believe it. Maybe it's like that in Russia too. I feel like there's people I'll see on the internet who call it like maskomi とかそういう分かってる人もいっぱいいるんだけど、もしかしてこれを見てるみんなも分かってると思うけど、一般の人は何でも事実として捉えるからさ、you can convince them anything, you know what I mean? So
同じロシアは同じ
And Japan's a very mass media driven country.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, for instance, in America, like on TV, there's, you pay for TV and there's like 1,000 channels, right? Japan has 8 channels. So you're going to get that there's cable in Japan too, but it's not as widely.
Okay.
So you're getting a very small, and that's a good thing too, because in some ways it gives Japanese people like an identity. Like, there's a lot of Japanese shows where everybody's seen the same shows and stuff like that.
Right.
Where in America, everything's more niche because there's just so many different things. Like, if you like fishing, you just go to the fishing channel all day. You know what I mean? まあ多分これから日本もそんな感じに変わると思うけど、まあどこの国のニュースでもダメ。I wish I could find a good one. I mean, I think America used to have really good news actually. Like, maybe it was 20 years ago, even 10. I don't know, but now that we have, the worst are like things that are actually in Japan too, like HuffPost or Vice, who I've worked for before. Like I've done stuff, I can't say the company, but I've worked for like a news company where they had the conclusion of the story before we finished filming.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Like they were like, we want it to be like this and like this and like this. Yeah.
So independent media is better.
And,
we all have internet. And also I'm kind of hopeful because our generation doesn't believe things as easily, I think.
No, I believe they do. I think our generation is the worst. Actually, my generation is different than your generation.
Oh, that's true.
I'm really worried about the younger generations. I think the younger generations in America are the weakest generation ever. And I think all of this is a product of people who turned 20. I mean, not all of it, but a lot of it is people who like turned 20 and started working.
Okay, yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel like we're sort of slightly more used to not believing something because we can easily Google it, while my grandma is like... Well,
no. I think that's true. But the problem with that, at least in America, is then you just end up only Googling things that you agree with.
Yeah, that's...
And then you're in your like little bubble. So yeah,
that's another problem.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think?
Let us know.
Bye-bye.